In the jail, I went 2 months without seeing an imam.
After August 26, 2011, we were no longer allowed to congregate for religious services at all.
As part of my religion, I must eat halal meals. For the past 2 months, I have been receiving kosher meals in the jail.
I use the compass to assure that I'm praying
As
in the
part
right
of my
direction.
religion, I must
After
eat
August
halal
26,
meals.
2011,
praying in the right direction.
These were the testimonies from men in the Los Angeles County jails. They are denied access to congregational prayer on Fridays, and their right to halal meals is often refused.
They don't really like his son in the LA County jail, and I think they see it as it's like a threat. As far as our ceremonial prayer, our congregational prayers on Fridays, and we were not allowed to go, but the Christians were allowed to go on Sundays, and so were the Catholics and the Protestants. They had, matter of fact, they had days throughout the weekdays, not just Sundays. But we very seldom ever got to go to our congregational prayer, only during the months of Ramadan, and that's when some exceptions was made. But then those were like abruptly cut off.
It has been my experience that the LA County jail system, especially in this last decade, have restricted the ability for Muslim inmates to exercise their religion freely. The resources that ought to be available to this group of people are not available, unlike in other instances for other faith groups.
We have been privileged to be able to have Jewish chaplains that provide specifically Jewish support for Jewish inmates, both throughout the state of California and here in Los Angeles as well.
It prohibits and creates lots of impediments for these people to pursue their religion and faith. They are not given and afforded the same rights as the dominant groups are.
RLUIPA is the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, and it protects people while they are incarcerated to exercise their religious freedom.
If you incarcerate someone, then they should have certain basic human rights.
Group prayer is particularly important to reinforcing a sense of religious identity. Whether you're Jewish, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whatever you're Hindu, whatever your religion is, all of them involve a sense of community.
It was a congregational prayer, and that's the same as the Sunday prayer for the Christian, for the Seventh-day Adventists. I guess they have their prayers on Saturday, and so it's a congregational prayer. The Quran tells us, it says, stop what you're doing, stop all traffic and trade on Friday. It says, when you hear this call, go to the prayer, attend this prayer, because it's a symbol of unity.
Friday services are not held only because there are so many restrictions placed. If the inmates were to be gathered from all floors at one time at one place, then a volunteer like me can go and conduct the service, which takes less than half an hour, 40 minutes. As opposed to if I'm asked to conduct 9 services on all 9 floors for half an hour each, I don't have the time.
In the Torah and Jewish sacred scriptures, when we are introduced to the creation of human beings, what we are told is that every human being is made b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. And there's no except. It doesn't say human beings are created in God's image except Muslims.
Islam has helped me to overcome most of these seemingly insurmountable odds.
We, above all other people, have the experience of what it's like to be discriminated against, and therefore have a special obligation to raise our voices, to speak out, to stand up on behalf of all.
This is a freedom that we all share, supposedly here in this country.
I would urge the community to begin to see these grave injustices that are happening in broad daylight in our society.
In the end, there is no justification for denying access to congregational prayer for some inmates while providing access to others.